So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our video of Saturn as the Atmakaraka in your 10th house. As in what happens when it is the planet with the highest degree, okay, amongst all the planets, excluding Rahu, Ketu, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, okay, when the seven main bodies of astrology, when Saturn has the highest degree, is known as the Atmakaraka. And as always, if you do not know which planet is your Atmakaraka, how it's positioned, you can check out the links here, caresastrology.com, where you'll find my books, reports, consultations, and link to my academy, Makha Vedic Astrology Academy, where I currently am doing marriage course, including now I have a full bundle. One click, you can get all the courses at once. Okay. Now, as you know, Atmakaraka. What is Atmakaraka? Atmakaraka is not just like part of the personality. Okay, there's so many ways people look at personalities: ascendant, moon nakshatra, sun, soul's purpose, purpose of birth. It's all, you know, it's like you create a fist. You can create a fist with just a thumb, sun or moon or Jupiter, the Jivaka Atma, or the Atmakarka, or the ascendant. They all represent who we are, and we are these beings with 50 shades of gray. It's not black and white. Okay? Even if you look at somebody like Jack the Ripper, I'm sure he enjoyed poetry. I am sure he enjoyed writing. Probably, you never know, loved playing a guitar. Right? All these things are there. So, and forgive my clogged nose. I've been dealing with these cold for like past 3 days, 4 days. I think everybody is. Like in US, it seems to be like some major spread of some form of flu. So, funny. Saturn is in the 10th house, right? Its own house. Strong. One thing you will see with this person has to always search for their jobs, always search for their employment. This is the person as the Atmakarka Saturn. You see, what is Saturn? A servant, right? Like, especially in India, you have a servant coming in, cooking and cleaning for you, doing your laundry, right? And it's so amazing that at middle class income in India, you can have 2 or 3 people, servants coming in. One is cooking, one is cleaning, one is doing the laundry. Here, it's like if you did that, your bank account will be empty. So you guys got it good there. Now, what this shows is that because Saturn is the servant is now at the spot of work and karma. That means this person has to be a servant in society. So you know how a servant who comes in your home and cleans. Let's say we have one that comes, a housekeeper, 1 day a week, cleans the whole house. Right? But guess what? We're not the only employer of hers. She has probably, I would say, 10 different employers that she goes to. So what happens here with this person, they have to be in a contract related position in order to have that gradual employment happening. And they always find work. That's the thing with this Saturn is the Atmakarka. Because the Atmakarka is saying there's some unfinished work, right? And what is that unfinished work? That unfinished work is the work. You know why you got this Saturn as the Atmakarka in this life? Because in previous life you were a kamchor, as we call it. You ignored work. You didn't want to work. You were probably lazy. Maybe you grew up in such an affluent, rich family, you didn't want to work. You didn't want to do anything. You refused to work. Some people, even when they're middle class, they're just like, whatever. I'll survive off of government bailouts and funds. Okay. So what happens now, because you kind of freeloaded in your past life, well, it says, I'm sorry, you aren't balancing your life out. You can't go all the way here. And neither you should just be only working, working, working. It has to be a balance. Everything is a balance. That's why Ida and Pingala activate the Shushana, the balancing act. So this particular Saturn in the 10th house is trying to now balance it out for you in this life. You say, well, since you ate ice cream in past life, now it's time to eat salad. So you will see this is a position that a person will have many employments in their life. And the thing is, this if the Atmakaraka is Saturn, usually most of the time the life is going to force you to work as a job instead of a business. But if you do business, and let's say you even hire people underneath you, you won't be acting like the boss. You'll actually be the one working. For example, I'll give you an example. I did a reading for this one person in Arkansas, and he's a roofer, roofing company. So they install roofs, damaged roofs from hail and wind damage. So, but this person has been doing it for 25 years, has 6, 7 people underneath them, but they're like, I work 14 hours a day. I want to know, how can I cut this down? I have a company, I've lived a good life, but I pretty much have worked just like with my labor. I have to be present there. I have to help them out. I have to climb the roof. I'm doing that now, even at the age of 62. This is this Saturn. So yeah, if you have the combinations for business, you will be able to do business, but you can't just sit back and relax like one of those managers with a big belly and eating a donut sandwich, having a cigar, and just commanding. No, you have to work. You're here to work. And again, this is, you can look at it in a positive way. Life says, we're not going to let you sit still. There's not a moment where you're like, oh, I need to look for employment. No, you will find employment because this life wants you to work. Now, are there certain tricks to, kind of have universe forgive you a little bit? Yes. You know what it is? Every week, go to a temple and clean people's shoes. When you go to a temple, church, mosque, people leave their shoes. You should be getting a job without pay where everybody who comes and cleans, you should have like a towel taking all the dust off, helping them arrange their shoes. Number one. Number two, doing voluntary work on your weekend. Meaning today I'm going to go to this homeless shelter and work, or this church, or I'm going to help distribute food at this temple this week. When you do that work, then life allows you to have that ease and balance of work in the main hub, that main epicenter of your career, of your profession, so you can pay your bills. So instead of feeling like you're grinding away 14, 16 hours, not gaining much, this is the balancing act. But how many will do it? I've had people who said they were going to do it. I've not seen any updates on that. I'm like, shoot a video. Not for you guys. I'm like, I want to see it. Shoot a video, maybe with a friend or somebody, for you doing this. So far, I haven't received any. Whenever I've given this particular remedy and the suggestion to certain people. But this Atmakaraka position, it's a must if you want to balance that out. Because otherwise, there'll just be this struggle to keep finding one job after another. Now, again, one job after another is a pretty norm now, right? Like people don't stay at companies for 15, 20 years now. So what you need to do with this particular Saturn, for you, the best thing would be independent contracting. And this is for 95, 97% of the people. The rest of the three may actually desire to work in the government, becoming a bureaucrat. But it's going to be very hard for Atmakaraka Saturn in the 10th, not any other house, in the 10th. See, if Atmakaraka Saturn is in the ascendant, yeah, you can become a leader. You are supposed to become a leader. You ignored your responsibility as a leader, so now you have to come back as a leader again. But here now you're a servant. So if you do go for that government job, you can get a desk job. Your job will be somewhat tedious manual job, perhaps making you go out in the field, travel, transferring this paperwork to that paperwork, although now it's all digital. But I don't know, I'm just saying it's going to be where you will feel like I am a servant. Okay. So, and this is why, this is something, oh my God, I have to sneeze. Oh, oh, I hate when the sneeze comes and comes. You know, I'm having an issue for the past 10 years. I don't know if one of you can provide a great solution for it, because when I sneeze, my entire this becomes electrified with pain. Literally, I'm in pain for like 6, 7, 8 minutes if I sneeze. And believe me, today I've sneezed almost 10, 14 times. So you can imagine the pain that I've gone through. I think it's something to do with the disc in the spine. But if you guys know a yogic solution, let me know. Okay? Because I don't want to take any medicines. But anyway, the other thing, Saturn in the 10th house as the Atmakaraka, you are known as the Karam Yogi, which is pretty much, enveloping everything that I just mentioned. You have to become a Karma Yogi. You're just here to work for others. Even if you're the boss, behave like you are the door security. That's the only way you can become a leader. The moment you become a leader and you start showing that, okay, well, now I'm a leader, it'll happen. I've seen this. I've actually predicted this after seeing that. I don't know what's going to be, but I said it. And yes, that was the case. So, very simple thing with this Saturn, just serve. And the other thing, big thing, remember when I said about the cleaning shoes, slippers, volunteering? The other thing, if you can lower down your ego to the dirt, clean toilets. Clean toilets at the temple, church, at senior communities. The biggest one would be your neighbors. On Saturday, tell your neighbor, I'm going to come clean your toilet. See, for me, at least in the United States, I've even done that. I've cleaned toilets. I was a janitor for a long time. One of my favorite jobs, actually, being an introvert. But in this country, nobody looks down on you, no matter what job you do. Whether you're a cashier at a grocery store, McDonald's, everybody just respect the fact that you're working. It's a good job. You're not like a freeloader just living off of government. That's one value that was instilled when I came here. I felt awkward, but then I'm like, yeah, everybody's doing it. Kids my age are cashiers at McDonald's. Okay, great. Somebody senior to me, like in their 40s, is checking people's clothes at Macy's. It's just everybody had families. Back then, when the inflation was so low, people working in like regular grocery stores had like 2 cars home, putting kids through school. I mean, it's completely topsy-turvy now. Okay? But make sure you balance this Saturn out if you do not want to deal with this hard life of Saturn. Okay? So I hope this has helped and given some insights into your Saturn. And again, if you're new to my channel, subscribe below. Share Remedies type of videos. If you want to know everything about your chart consultation, check out the links here. Otherwise, we'll see you later.